What's going on, YouTube? Manuel Bedoy from Black Sands, and we got another exciting announcement. Today we have signed PB Soldier. All right, it's a new comic
Yeah,
series. Well, it's not a new comic series. It's been around for a minute, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's been around for a minute, but it's one of those sci-fi joints. I always say I'm tired of seeing the same old stuff, right?
Always, always.
Same Gundam Wing version of comic books, man. I'm sick of it. All right, I want to see no more Gundam Wing type stuff. I want to see some sci-fi, fantasy, history, anything different. You know what I mean? And PB Soldier is definitely one of those titles. So I'm gonna give a chance to everybody to get in here. But for now, let me introduce Nasi Gifted. Let him talk about himself and what he has done over the last decade, right?
Yeah, we're going into a decade. Yes, two
Yeah.
years shy of it.
Tell them about it, man. Tell them about your product, man. What is it about?
Well, first of all, my name is Nasi Gifted, creative director of PBS Media, writer for the sci-fi comic book series called PB Soldier. PB Soldier is a sci-fi adventure that follows a convert operative named Nat Cummings, who's a skilled computer hacker using his skills to pay for college. When his activities actually are discovered, and he's listed as a top terror threat in this world. Code Red, and the newly formed world government, also known as the establishment, gives him one simple choice: either work for them as a highly trained assassin or be terminated. And that's kind of like with the gist of the story. That's the synopsis of the story, where he actually starts seeing visions of a life that's not of his own, which is ancestors trying to hack into him while he's hacking into the world, unveiling a whole bunch of things that's going on in this society.
Okay. So I have a question then for you then. For this comic series, what would you say is the most similar title in the mainstream media?
Ooh, similar title.
Yeah.
I mean, this would be a mix. I mean, well, I would have to go with a couple of movies. So this is like a mix of V for Vendetta. Actually, I mean, that's a graphic novel in a sense too. So V for Vendetta meets uh, Vendetta meets Book of Eli. That's kind of like the two parallels of the worlds of where like we kind of sit in the setting for PB Soldier.
Okay. So it's highly political then.
Yes, it's definitely political, but it actually shows how technology kind of impacts the world and sets the tone for the political climate that's going on.
Okay. So while I do love the comic books, right? So that's why we signed them in the first place, right? I gave them the offer. But while I do love the comics, I think what's more important is your actual background. All right.
Oh yeah,
Your actual profession, what you do for a living, and how it
yeah.
affects others. So please go into that.
Well, I mean, by no means was I a traditional comic book artist or comic book writer. I actually come into this industry from engineering. So my training comes as an electrical engineer who transitioned into education. And with that, found the need for our community to be able to, change what we see as what we call superheroes and what heroes that look like them. So I found a little void with that, but then also saw this as another niche because of my education background, to be able to introduce topics, more complex topics like STEM into younger readers, adult readers, to be able to break down those various things. So I got this whole initiative as far as developing the next generation of technology leaders. And I mean, that's been my whole plight for the last 17 years as an educator, and now as a principal, doing the exact same thing, trying to develop that next generation.
So principal, what school is that? What's the
Say it again.
school? What school are you a principal at?
Oh, I'm principal at Malcolm X Shabazz High School in Newark, New Jersey.
All right. So this is something that I like to talk to people about. I tell people, I'll be like, look, I think there's not enough black men in education.
Yes.
Just a big void. right? They don't want to see black masculine men teaching our young boys.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, as a result, they grow up and, you know, they got no real role models that they see on a daily basis, you know, especially if they come from a broken home or whatever. They just don't have the opportunity to see like a black man, right, in a dominant position in society. So
Yes.
you know, seeing a black principal, you know, and I'm talking to the people that's watching this right now, seeing a black principal who knows engineering, right? Not just the guy in charge. He's actually a very smart guy who knows engineering and stuff like that, who's making comic books for a living, right?
Yep.
On the side, teaching STEM through those comic books and with some more adult political ideologies going on in the comic books and everything else. It's a powerful thing that I think teenagers and young adults really need, right? I'm not going to say this content is for anybody younger than that, but definitely for teenagers and young adults, this is the kind of content that they need to be reading. Also, well, you know, but this is something I really want to emphasize is that, you know, it's very rare to see black principals, right, who aren't like, you know, hey guys, how you doing today? That kind of crap. You know, I want a man who's out there, you know, teaching these kids and say, hey, sit down. You know, they need that energy every now and then where it's just a man who's just in charge. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it. That's why I thought it was a very important project to go and bring into the Black Sands publishing universe, and also why we need to talk about his Kickstarter campaign. So he hasn't done a Kickstarter campaign in a while, right? So he's doing Kickstarter campaigns. He got this one up right now, and he's raising money in order to finally collect all his books into one big giant anthology, a physical anthology. Now, me, I love anthologies. I hate single issue comics. I'm not a collector like that. I like it where it's nice and solid, so I can get one at one time, right? So I'm gonna support the campaign. I'm already supporting them by signing them, you know. So I'm in there. I'm in there 100%, you know. But a lot of you guys out there, you don't really know about this. Let's go and let's look at the content ourselves, and we can see what's going on at his Kickstarter campaign. So let's break it up. All right, so we're here right now, and let's go and watch this video. So you don't gotta say nothing right now. Let's go watch the video that you made for this Kickstarter campaign.
Peace, and welcome to the world of PB Soldier. So what is PB Soldier? PB Soldier, produced by PBS Media, is a comic book series based on a futuristic sci-fi adventure that follows a covert operative named Nat Cummins, who carries out missions for a secret government-funded
We lose our sound.
Who one day is confronted with the stunning realization that his work might not be for the greater good. Now he's on a mission to learn the truth while coding an elaborate program to divest himself from the establishment before becoming its next target. So why Kickstarter? The Kickstarter campaign will provide an opportunity, our artwork costs, and to offset the printing costs makes this Kickstarter different. In PB Soldier, The Awakening Saga 1, you'll be introduced into updated artwork, a whole new world of characters, and a unique storyline. That's what makes this so much different. Since the launch of our first 2 issues at New York Comic Con in 2012, the sci-fi comic book series has been well received by audiences young and old alike. The sole purpose of developing the series was we had our youth in mind. Our young people receive a constant bombardment of images, of characters that doesn't reflect who they are. If you're familiar with PB Soldier's brand, we're proud to say that Abel Garcia will be working on this as well. One of my personal goals is to inspire young people, especially Blacks and Latinos, to be science and technology leaders.
All right, this is the money thing right here. 170-page book. You know, you can cop one of those. I always think that's a good deal. You know, original artwork. You know, they got a whole bunch of dope stuff. T-shirts. You know, I'm a big dude, so I need bigger shirts than most. But that's all right. You know, I don't know about skateboards though. I don't know if black people do skateboards. We'll see.
High school students interested in pursuing careers in the STEM field. Who knows? Comics may be the answer to addressing the gaps in the digital.
Yeah, more people skateboarding than you know.
Yeah. So one of the things that I noticed is one of your stretch goals is that you're planning on doing a STEM actual lesson plan, right?
Yes.
Or side
Right.
book. It's gonna have a STEM features. It's gonna talk about engineering. It's gonna talk about coding. You know, I think that's pretty dope, right? You want to have that kind of content in there as well, because then you can actually expand into education, not
Yes.
just from a hey, look at me, I write books for a living, but also actually getting it in the classroom, right?
Yes. So we actually developed a whole activity book. So standalone PB Soldier is, you know, a nice sci-fi adventure. But if you wanted to teach this in the classroom, because we've already been doing a platform of using comics to teach them, we have where's a resource guide. So you can be able to use this as a resource for those who are interested in coding. So if you're looking to do higher education, we have coding activities. And all of that stuff is centered around the whole world of PB Soldier. So that's forthcoming with regards to what we're doing with the Kickstarter.
Yeah, that's definitely something we're gonna do. So check it out. Everybody here who's been watching so far, it's time for you guys to start asking your questions, all right? I'm gonna wait about 2 minutes before I start pulling up people's questions. And the questions can be related to me, can be related to him, doesn't matter. Whoever it's related to, they're gonna answer the question, all right? Now,
All right.
So that's what's up. Ask him anything, man. Ask him, what was the most embarrassing thing you ever stepped in? You know, I don't know, some crazy stuff like that. I know New York, you know, you got some stories.
Yeah, definitely. Always, man. Always.
So,
You know, when you're dealing with youth, when you're dealing with the world, man, you always running into a whole lot of things, man.
yeah, that's crazy, man. I think it's amazing. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait for a second for those questions to come in, and then once they come in, we're gonna start pulling them up.
All right.
What does PB stand for? Boom.
Oh, wow. So PB Soldier, so PB is actually his hacker's name. So PB stands for Slayton Blacklisted Soldier. So Slayton is this little particle that he actually sends into the net to be able to hack into various firewalls in the network called the Nexus.
Mm-hmm. All right. See that right there? See that overcomplicated answer right there? See, I ain't ready for that. I ain't ready for that. I still don't know what it stands for. You just said it. I don't know what it stands for, but you know. So let's go. How can we be signed to Black Sands? Okay, so this is a question. Okay. Most of the time, I'm looking for fully developed stories. I don't like ideas, mostly because we have a short timetable. I plan on releasing BSP by December. So if you ain't already got content, I can't even look at it, because launch day, I got to have a lot of stuff on there in order to just blow people away and have so much content that they really have like no way of consuming it all for at least a couple of months. You know, we want to make sure that they just can't consume all the content within a couple of months. So you got to come with a full production already developed, right? And once that's in, you can go and apply. You can just email me or send me a DM on Instagram. Always lead with your best foot. So portfolios are great. Don't say, hey, I have a comic book. Say, hey, check this out, and just throw some pages up right off the bat, right? Because I'm looking for quality more than anything else. We can work on stories. Stories are, things you can fix. Can't fix quality.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then also letting them know that BP is going to actually have about 5 years worth of content. So when you launch the app, there's going to be a ton of opportunities for those individuals just to dive into all of this rich content that's going to be out there.
Yeah, it's definitely our job, basically, oversaturate in the content side on launch. We want to just basically drown people in content, so there's no way that they'll run out of content. Let's move on to the next person. All right. How'd you come up with the money to get your first prints?
Well, I mean, that for me, that was an investment in self. So, when you come up with any idea that you want to make real, you have to before you can look into anyone else investing in you, you have to invest in yourself. So, this was something, where people would probably go to the club or buy a pack of cigarettes or buy a pack of beer. I put it into myself. I abstained from those things and then invested in myself. That was pretty much how I got the initial startup money. And then when you self-publish and go through some of these printing companies, the minimums are not as high. But of course, when you want to do your profit margin, we talk about the business side of it, you want to do more volume.
Yeah, definitely. I'll also tackle that as well. So how much come with the money for the initial prints? So it was Kickstarter. I did Kickstarter straight up. I released issue 1 for free, so everybody had issue 1 before.
Yeah.
They didn't have to worry about what the quality was like or anything. It was out. Now I had to make that first book by myself, and that cost a damn lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But once Kickstarter was successful, we were able to go out there. I like volume when I buy books, right? Just because I want to get the cost down. But not everybody is in the same situation as me. You might not be able to move 1,000 books in 6 months. Some people can't. So it's always best to be able to get rid of your inventory. Number 1 rule: get rid of your inventory. After that, once you can get rid of your inventory, figure out how much inventory you can buy at one time, and not have inventory sitting around forever. All right. So that's the next step. Let's go to the next person. How would this content attract young minds and make them reflect on their lives? I'm going to answer first, and then you answer Lex. Okay. So Black Sands is the bait. Okay, Black Sands is the ultimate bait for everybody who reads comic books. All right, Black Sands dominates the young audience, and BSP will be the flagship. Will be Black Sands: The Seven Kingdoms. So they're trapped at this point, right? So once they're there, they're gonna look for all the other comic books that are also being featured on the app, right? And this is one of those things that we are going to be really emphasizing, is certain titles that we feel are very good for education, mostly because we're going to actually go right into the schools and do licensing plays with them so they can have direct access. So that's the way I feel about it when it comes to getting this content directly to that target audience. And he can also explain how he's been doing it over the last couple of years.
So for us, I just have the vantage point of just working with the youth each and every day, because I'm a school administrator, was a teacher in the classroom and everything. So I get a ton of feedback from the youth as far as what they're interested in, and being able to leverage that and then infuse that right into the story. Also, just looking at comics as one of those mediums that's highly engaging for the youth, and then being able to not only engage them, but be able to convey certain messages and actually use it as an entry point, as a teaching tool.
About that, right? All right, let's move on to what inspired this comic book? Very simple question.
Okay. You want me to go first? Well, for me,
I didn't know what inspired you.
This actually started as a T-shirt. So in college, we had a whole PB Soldier T-shirt line that was initially happening, but it wasn't until officially where it became a comic book series, where I actually had my own children and took my son to see Incredible Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, not the the one with Ed Norton, and just had a conversation with him about superheroes. And when I talked to him about superheroes, he could name everyone, from Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, all the ones that everyone could probably name off the top of their heads, but he couldn't name anyone that looked like him. And initially I got upset about it, and then set out to do something different, and actually came up with the comic book series. And from there, just with my engineering background, just kind of did a lot of research, did some training, took some classes at NYU, did all of those things, and got to where we are today, where we developed this actual comic book series. And that's what inspired me. And then this what's been constantly inspiring me, where we built the platform and came out with the actual book, and then pretty much engage the audience, and then just kind of kept building on it and just kept building on it.
Roger that. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, which is even funnier. Whoa, what is it? Where's that? There we go. All right, what's it like being a principal?
Oh man. When you say no days off and the work doesn't stop, it's always that you have issues, or you have to deal with everything from the lunch, the cafeteria individuals, to I mean your scholars coming in, not eating, maybe be homeless, don't have somewhere to live at the present time, and you got to deal with that. Those are all. I mean, and besides the academic aspect of everything, how can you begin to educate a young person if they're hungry? So just being able to address all of the social emotional aspects of everything, or if their friend just died, or the mother just got locked up, or all of those plethora of situations, those things happen. Like when I look at this whole thing, is like I know a lot of people watch Black Lightning, so it's like I'm like the real life Black Lightning, where I do the comics and then actually actually have to be something where I have to deal with stuff that's in the school and outside of school, because we got to deal with the stuff that's going on in the community, as well as what goes on inside of the building, because all of this stuff affects the climate and culture inside of the building. So I can say it's a lot of sleepless nights, and like I'm always on. I get phone calls all times of night, always addressing emails and everything. And just trying to find balance, balance between family, balance between what we're doing as far as this passion here with the comic series and everything, and making sure that, my scholars are getting their needs met.
Roger. Okay, so let's go to a funner question, right? What is PB Soldier's strongest traits?
His strongest traits?
Yeah.
If you guys are familiar with MacGyver, right? When he's a MacGyver type, where he kind of uses the resources that's around him and then make something out of nothing. So that's one of his strongest traits. And then the fact that he is hardworking and bullheaded, where he's actually looking at how the ancestors connect to how his past connects to his present and paves a pathway for his future. That's one of his strongest traits right there.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Here's an interesting question. Well, I didn't expect to get this, but let's see. Yeah, I know when I first invested in Black Entertainment, you had Michelle Obama as one of your endorsements, but now I don't see her on the page. But I don't see now. Just curious what happened. So what happened was I got a cease and desist. Now I've had that for years. I have the actual endorsement letter, right? The physical one, right? But they say it's a commercial use of her name, and therefore they don't want to do that because they didn't give me permission to do that. So whatever, took it down, right? Kind of establishment thing, right? I guess they don't want to be affiliated with our production. It's not a problem, At the end of the day, people invest in our company because we have one of the strongest bases out there. It's just, whether it said Michelle Obama or not, nobody cared. They've been investing in us for years, so they already knew what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So we took it down about mid-campaign, and then we raised like $200,000 in the next week. And it was like almost instant, and she was off the campaign and everything else. So people make decisions, for political reasons, right? Oh man, you're too pro-black, blah 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 blah. So that's what happened to me, and nothing I can do. I can't trip off of it. It happens all the time. So let's see what we got. Well, I'll answer that. People don't need to because you're kid. So what makes you both inspired to make Black Sands and PB Soldier comic books? For me, it's a very simple one. I love simple, short answers. So my short answer for you: no more slave movies. Time for kings.
Yeah,
that's mine. I'm a history buff. That's all I do. So You wanna know why I made Black Sands? Because I'm sick of slave movies.
Yeah.
The only thing they want to fund. So I'm funded my own. So that's a very simple answer, and it's the answer that I have. I don't have many answers to that. You know, they have all these spiritual reasons why I did it. Nope, I was just sick of slave movies. And I'm sure everybody else is too.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, mine is a little similar, very well, and that's why we vibe on such a great level because we have so many similar views on a lot of this stuff. You know, I just wanted to be able to tell our narrative where like we not the sidekick, we not the first person getting killed in the first 10 minutes. We can actually be intelligent. We can actually be intelligent in the story. And it can be real. So that's what really inspired me as well.
All right, Hotep Anthony from Macchiato Comics. He was the first person we signed. All right, so he's asking, what's your favorite series? I'm talking to you.
Talking to me?
I guess so, because I already answered this a while ago, but I'm gonna let you ride.
I mean, I'm into a lot of the independents right now. So I'm collecting EXO, Malika, Malika. Shoot, Black Sands. I got that in my collection. Purge. I mean, if we talking to more mainstream individuals, I'm reading Black Panther. That was pretty much. And then Miles Morales. I actually purchased that for my son or whatever. So I kind of flipped through it and just kind of give it to him.
Well, me and my children love Attack on Titan. They're 4 and 6. All right?
Mm-hmm.
But they love zombies and giant zombies that can eat people in one bite. Way better. All right. So they love Attack on Titan. I love Attack on Titan. I also love Berserk just because I love a hero who suffers. I love heroes who suffer. It's the greatest thing in the world. A hero who literally could just walk away. Right? He's like, I'm sick of this crap. I'm just gonna walk away. Nobody appreciates me, but they keep struggling on because of some inner, spirit that is telling them that they just can't give up on what they're doing. Shout out to Asar. That's his story. All right. Who's your biggest inspiration in terms of artists and ideas? I don't know. I'll let you answer this. I have none, so feel free.
I mean, my inspiration as an artist will be Machindo Fumba.
Oh, okay. I know.
Yeah, he is phenomenal artist.
Afrofuturism, right? That's what yeah.
So while I was doing my research on, what Black comic book creators was out there, I kind of stumbled upon him at ECBOC, East Coast Black Age of Comics, and I was like, man, this guy's work is phenomenal, and just told myself one day I'm gonna work with him, and that one day happened, and he actually did our character designs, and then just kind of been moving forward since. So he's been an inspiration, and then of course the artist that I'm working with currently, Abel Garcia, who's been with the PB Soldier Project for the last 8 years.
Gotcha. All right, so let's see. Let's go around a bit. Is Black Sands Entertainment okay with mature comic books? Yeah, I don't see a reason why not. Not freaking vulgar mature, but mature, sure. I got no problem with that. We have ratings in our system, so people can say no titties, right? They can just say that if they feel like it, and bam, you don't have to worry about any nudity in the comics, right? We got parental controls, so if people want to get stuff specifically for their kids, they can do that. But there's no reason why there shouldn't be. I just don't like hood shit. So
yeah.
If it's hood, I'm not gonna sign it. It's just a principle of mine. Sure, later on, sure, but for now, hell no. It's just not our brand. Our brand is bringing a different perspective of the Black experience. A positive one.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So let's see. I can't wait for you guys, bro. All right. So I think we're at the end of our questions. So let's go and let's talk about this campaign one more time. So right now they're sitting at $31.95, right? $31.95 with 63 investors. Let's go look at some of these tiers. I want to see if we got any good tiers. Now, I want to promote a specific tier. All right, so let me see. I like physical, so I'm not looking at any of these digital ones. Let's see what we got here. Graphic novel, soft cover edition. All right, so I'm looking at you guys right now. All right, you guys who are supporters of our cause and also a supporter of Black education. All right, I want you to look at this tier right here, the $50 tier. All right, I'm gonna be. Trust me, I invested a lot more than $50. So don't worry about me pledging.
We appreciate Black Sands Entertainment for all the things that you're doing.
But what I'm telling everybody here to do is if you want the physical book, and it's a big ass book, it's like 170 pages. All right, go to the $50 tier and lock that bad boy in. All right, this one right here has the graphic novel, which is going to be the whole collection. Right, it has a digital one as well, has some digital art, and a bag. You actually get a bag with this too, so that's pretty dope. You know, and a poster. I believe that PB Soldier World print is a poster, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, so you get all that, and you're gonna get it by July, most likely September, but we're gonna say July. Nobody ever gets their Kickstarter rewards on time, so we'll be nice and say
we're gonna try our best to get it in July.
Yeah, nobody does it. I don't do it. Nobody does. Everybody has the best wishes for the date. Nobody ever hits that date. So that's funny right there. But yeah, definitely do that $50 tier. That's the tier I'm gonna be doing. I did way more than $50, but all I'm saying is do 50 and we'll help these guys get to their goal, man. This is all about making people work all the time. That's all I want. That's all I want people in my company to work for. I don't want them doing jack. I want him to be able to walk away from the principal job. Even though being the principal is dope, I want him to be an influencer instead, right? Who's just knocking out content, hiring people to make more stuff for PB Soldier and going around and actually being a speaker at multiple different schools. Because you know what? Being a principal is cool, but being a guy who's in multiple schools across the nation, as that guy who makes awesome comic books for STEM and what's it called, that's better. It just is. That's more influential. So I want people to have influence and power and obviously cash in their pockets. So let's go and let's make sure that he can continue the production of his PB Soldier series. Go to the campaign on Kickstarter. Just look up PB Soldier. All right. I can also give you the link in the comment section right now. And we just got to do what we got to do, man. We got to help these people grow. And we got to give our opportunities to people who just didn't have the resources that other people do. I say I was super lucky, right? I found out what works. I got really good at it. And I became a marketing genius, right? I just got powerful online and everything else. But everybody can't do that. Most people haven't. But they freaking dominated shows. You go to PB Soldier at a show, and you're like, oh, shit, he's selling 6 comic books to one customer. And he's doing it over and over and over and over again. And that's something that, you know, if he could do that all the time, he wouldn't have to work anywhere else but you know, good shows are very far in between. You have a good show one time, and then 2 or 3 months later, you have another good show. Every other show is like an average show, something where you're like, I'm there, you know, I can sell something, but really it's not really a massive show that's gonna like really pay the bills. So our online presence is what we want to have. Our online production is where we want to be. And then when BSP blows up and we have hundreds of thousands of users, hopefully everybody can walk the hell away from their normal 9 to 5 and just pump out content 24/7. All right, so that's the plan. Support PB Soldier on Kickstarter. Support Macchiato Comics. They're kicking butt too. They're probably going to launch Kickstarter eventually. I told them to because their comic books are dope and I don't want them running on fumes. All right, so we want everybody to be able to do exactly what they need to do in order to basically make all the stuff they're going to do. You know what I mean? So that's what's up. That's my last statement. Is there anything else you would like to say before we call this video a night?
Well, I mean, the main thing with all this, I want to thank Black Sands for entertainment for, bringing us on board. This partnership is going to be phenomenal because of the great things that we're going to be able to do together. And also, support Black ownership. And this is us telling our own story. And you supporting us helps us be able to do that at a higher capacity. So thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for being a part of this movement, because this is a movement. This is not something that we're just doing today. This is actually a movement that we're doing, and looking forward to all the support and meeting everyone on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one thing that I do want to go and talk to everybody about. So I'm talking to all these people, right? Trying to get them signed on, trying to find the right content for our application. But at the end of the day, right, there's a lot of people out there who are hesitant to sign exclusive deals to our company, no matter the offer. It doesn't matter what I offer. It's just, hey, I'm independent. I'm gonna do my own thing. But there's a lot of that going on in the Black community, especially people who've been out for years. Like maybe they've been out like 8, 9, 10 years. They don't make any money on digital sales, but they still won't budge, right? Yeah. So BSP and these things that I'm talking to my investors about, right? The investors really need to know is that our plan is initially go and get as much talent as we can that's already created content, bring them to the platform, right? Highlight them. But if I can't bring enough people to the platform, then I start using the money that I would have used to get all these talented people, right? And I start making productions with people who are just creators in the space. So writers, artists, all those people. You start building teams. I develop the story, right? And then I have them go and flesh it out and actually make the content. I'm gonna have a lot of content no matter what, right? Yeah. And whether I create it or not is going to be entirely up to whether people come to the table or not. We got 2 so far. It's very good. It's very early, right? Hopefully we can get what I say is 20 people. If I can get 20 people, I don't need to make no new content. I can just keep making what I've been making and call it a day, right? But if we're at 10, I'm gonna get that other 10. I'm gonna do it by making it 10 books in 1 year. You'll be like, how the hell did he do that? Be like, well, I got 10 different teams. I have the capital, so I'm gonna push it myself if I have to. So this is something you guys need to understand when it comes to the business side of things. We're trying to get the Black community centralized. Comixology ain't paying shit. Webtoons ain't paying shit. They ain't paying nothing. So the fact that we're paying right off the bat exclusively, right off the jump, that's big. The next big thing is that we're not stopping there. That's the first thing they get. But all the ad revenue generation and all the other stuff that comes with that's the awesome stuff. That's the real bargain of the deal. So our deals are phenomenal when it comes to competitiveness compared to what's out there. You know what I'm saying? Unless you get a deal from Dark Horse, it's just not gonna happen. So you got to go and you work with what you got. And I just wanted to let everybody know that we are actively looking for great content that's already created. All right. So if you're making content and you don't necessarily think you could sell a lot, like there's just some people who made amazing books, but they just have no marketing skills or whatever, right? Nothing wrong with that. That happens. Come talk to us, see what we think about your book, because it might be something I might think there's a market there you don't even know it existed. I'd be like, man, this would kill it. Well, what's it called? And you're like, oh, I didn't even think about that. I made this for this and this and this. And you're like, yeah, but your content's hot for that. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta work together. I've always a big thing. I'm gonna be doing classes all over again for all you guys in the comment section. Our independent book publishing course. We're gonna revamp that so we make it prettier and everything else, more consistent, so you guys can really get the training on. And it's just a great movement, man. This is a movement.
That's what it is. I mean, it's the Umoja. This is the real world Umoja. Unity, bringing it all together. Cooperative economics, all those principles of Kwanzaa. That's what this is all about. We need to come together as a community always. Because we are always the consumer. Now we can be a part of the ownership.
Yeah, that's the damn truth right there. A lot of people, that's why they invested, because I told them that's exactly the message. I said, look, I could have raised this money by just asking a couple of rich people, but at the end of the day, why do that? You guys have already been helping me make all this content. I'm sure we can pull together X amount of money to make the products ourselves, and I share with only those people. You know what I'm saying? I love that. I love the fact that I could say now company owned by 1,500 members of the Black community. I love saying that. That's a great marketing line in of itself. It said this ain't no one Black dude who hires a whole bunch of white people and says, yo, look at my company. It's so diverse. Nah, this is 1,500 Black people said this shit needs to happen. And that's the people that you're supporting. So that's what's up. But you guys have a great night. You have a great night, Nasi. You have a great night. Hotep Anthony over there, jumping in here all macchiatoed up, right? And this is it, man. This is another one down. We got 2. We got 18 slots left. Who's coming to the table? All right, Black Sands out.
Peace.